Hello everyone. So this is my commentary for our neighborhood walk. So we're going to walk around the block and I just want to show you some of the interesting things in our neighborhood. So the first one is this soba shop on the left. I think it's really nice. There's a curtain in front of it. It reminds me of the diner in Midnight Diner. If you haven't seen that series before on Netflix, you should check it out. You can learn a lot about Japanese culture and Japanese food from that series. So, yeah. And we like soba. Those are buckwheat noodles. We love it a lot. We haven't eaten it lately, but it's really good. So maybe we'll get soba from there soon. The situation's getting better, so I think we'll be able to eat out soon. And yeah, so this street in front, this is the main street. So if you go straight, then you'll get to the JR Shizuoka station. And here's Family Mart on the right. So that's the nearest convenience store to our apartment. I usually go there when I have a short break from work. It's less than 5 minutes to walk. It takes less than 5 minutes to walk. So I usually buy my lunch there. And this is it's a designer furniture store, so obviously we haven't bought anything from there. It's too expensive, but they are really nice. They're nice to look at. Now this is the sweets shop. I thought it was going to be expensive too, but actually their prices are quite reasonable. It's not that much expensive. It's not that much more expensive compared to the sweets that you can find in the supermarket. They have cakes, other kinds of pastries. They have ice cream, and they're really good. So when there's a special occasion, we usually go there. So that's just an apartment building. Just one of the apartment buildings around. There are a lot in this area. Obviously, we also live in an apartment building like this. So we just want to show you around this neighborhood. So this is a hair salon. I've never tried it, but I actually haven't gotten a haircut in a while. So maybe I'll try it the next time I need a haircut. Haircuts are really expensive in Japan, so I actually don't get my haircut very often. And yeah, so here, this is a karaoke bar on the corner. It's closed now. It's been closed for quite some time. I've actually never seen it open, but I'm hoping it'll open soon. I do like karaoke. I've only tried karaoke in a few places, not in Shizuoka. I've gone to a karaoke bar in Tokyo. It was really fun, and yeah, so I hope we'll be able to do it again. Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, yeah. So on the right, as you can see, that's a house. And yeah, so we wanted to show you this area where we live. It's a mixed zone, so there are commercial establishments as well as apartment buildings or some bungalow type houses, some small houses, private residences, and they're all right next to each other. Right, so here on the right, this is the 7-Eleven. It's a lot bigger compared to the Family Mart at the other corner. So yeah, so I sometimes come here if there's something that I can't find in the Family Mart. And yes, and you know, 7-Eleven has a different selection of food, so sometimes I come here too. And there at the end, that is the drugstore. It's a drugstore and also a little bit of a supermarket. You can also find some meats there, some fruits, some vegetables, and a lot of drugstores in Japan are like that. So they sell medicine and, you know, makeup and things like that, but they also have some things that you can find in a supermarket. So when I'm in a hurry or when there's something that I forgot, I can just run to that drugstore and yes, and get whatever it is that I forgot, you know, like soy sauce or something simple like that. But yes, on the left, yes, Valor, that is the name of the supermarket. So this one is a real supermarket. So they have produce, they have a lot of fresh vegetables there, and they have fish. You know, it's a real supermarket, so it's complete. Just everything that you want to find or need to find in a supermarket, you can see it there. And it's right across the street from the drugstore. So if there's anything that we can't find in the drugstore, it's not that difficult, you know, to just cross the street and get to the real supermarket and get what we need from there. Anyway, here there are more apartment buildings, a lot more apartment buildings, and across the street there are more private residences, private residences, I guess you can say that. And they're all right next to each other, you know, apartments and houses, supermarkets, drugstores. So it's really convenient if you live here, because you don't need a car to travel to do your grocery shopping. You know, you can just walk, or you can ride a bike, as we do. We're always just riding our bikes around to go to the places that we need to go. And yeah, so there are more residences here in this area, so it's a bit quieter. This street, it's a bit quieter than the previous street that we were on, you know, the one that leads to the station. But actually, if you go, this is a very long street, so there are a lot of things that you can find here. That was just one of the supermarkets. And yeah, so there are a lot more drugstores on this street. There are hardware stores. There are clinics. In a little bit, we'll see a clinic. It's an ear and nose clinic. So yeah, so even clinics are, you know, are in the same area as the apartments and as the supermarkets and all those things. And as you can see, it's still quite bright even if it's nighttime. Oh, here's the clinic on the right. Yeah, so that's an ear and nose clinic. I've never been there. I've never needed it, luckily. And on the left, there's a restaurant. We haven't tried it, but it looks pretty good. It looks really classy if you go near it. It looks really nice. So maybe we'll try it in the future. And on the right, these are office spaces. I've never actually been inside. I've just seen the sign. And yeah, so there are also offices here. So not just residences, but there are also offices and there are also stores. And yeah, so there's a kimono store over there. I think you can buy kimonos there, or you can rent, you know, the really expensive, really good kimonos. And on the right, it's a pretty big place. It's they buy and sell used goods, anything really, from electronics to clothes to shoes to luggages to, you know, comic books and other collectibles, CDs, everything. I've seen everything here. Guitars and all of those things. You can find it there, and we're actually thinking of selling my old laptop here. Maybe we'll do it in the future. Maybe we'll do a video on it. I'm not sure. So this is the gyoza shop. It's an unmanned gyoza shop, 24 hours unmanned gyoza shop. We'll show you. We'll show it to you in more detail next time. And yeah, so here there are a lot of things here. There's a game center on the second floor actually, and here on the first floor you can find some toys, some anime toys, some, and you know, other things. There are posters, and there's a vending machine. So here are some plushie toys. They're all secondhand, so they're all quite cheap, but they're still in pretty good condition, I think. So there are the golf clubs, and yeah, so that was a discount supermarket. You can buy some imported cookies there and other things, and the prices are lower. I'm not really sure why. Oh, and by the way, so I had to change the background music, because actually when we walked through there, they were playing a famous anime song, and the first time I uploaded this video, we actually got a copyright claim. So if you go to the original video, you know, the one where I don't give, the one without commentary, yeah, you'll see that part doesn't have any sound, so I had to mute it for that video. And for this video, I just changed it so that we wouldn't get another copyright claim. When we were walking at that area, it was actually, it was right at the chorus of the song, and it was about a minute long. So it was very distinguishable, and yeah, so I had to change it. But anyway, yeah, so that was the parking lot for the secondhand shop, and I think for some residences here too. And next we're coming up on the futon shop. So if you need a new futon, you can come here. If you don't know what a futon is, it's like a mattress, you know, it's a traditional Japanese mattress, I guess. I shouldn't say traditional. A lot of people still sleep on futons in Japan. Actually, my husband, before we moved to our new apartment, he just had a futon. He didn't have a bed, and he just had a futon. And we still have it to this day, actually. So if we have guests over, if we have a guest over, then they can sleep on the futon. But right now, of course, it's in the closet. We don't need it yet. And we didn't buy a new one because we don't need it. It's still pretty good, so I think it'll be fine. And yeah, so here, that's another house. You can see a lot of the houses have their own garages, so they can put their cars there. a lot of people do have cars here, even though for me, it's not really necessary because I can just ride a bicycle. But anyway, a lot of people still have cars. I guess it's still more convenient. And you can't really see it because it's dark, but on the left, these are the school grounds, people, or not people, but students, right? This is a junior high school. So the students play, soccer, and they do their track and field, PE activities on there. So here, it's the school grounds. Unfortunately, you can't see it because it's dark, so maybe we'll do another walk when it's daytime. And so on the left there, the building that's lit up, that is actually the school gymnasium. So I think you can borrow it if you want to play volleyball or basketball, even if you're not a student. So you just have to ask permission from the school or from the city. And then you can use it for your own games. And here on the left is a bicycle parking area. So in Japan, all the junior high school students are required. Well, I'm not sure if they're required. It depends on their how far their houses are to the school, but most of the junior high school students, they have to ride their bikes to school. So there's a bike parking area, and where they park their bikes are also assigned to them. It depends on their class and their student number. So they all have their own parking spots too. And we're almost at the end. We're coming up to actually my favorite part of our neighborhood on the right here. This is a bento shop, and they have really delicious bento. That's lunchbox in English. They have good steaks and other kinds of meat. They're really good. They're really delicious. The only thing is that it's a little bit expensive. It's about 800 to 1,000 yen for each bento. Of course, it's got rice and vegetables, but it's still pretty pricey. Just for reference, an average bento meal from a convenience store is maybe 300 to 500 yen. So 800 to 1,000 yen, that's a bit of a luxury bento, but it is really good. So yeah, so if we want to treat ourselves, we'd get a bento from there. And they're really yummy. And this is the back of the drugstore that I showed you earlier. So yes, and that's one round around our block. And yes, I hope you liked it.